7 joining me tonight, Kim and Greg Hoffman, who are hoping to put this nightmare behind them. Kim, let me start with you. What have you been through? Give me a sense of what this experience with this woman you describe as a nightmare neighbor, a neighbor from hell, has been like. Give us some stories.
Well, it's just been, as you said, a nightmare. I've gone through her following me. Our daughters really have had just a difficult time with the whole thing of being intimidated and watched constantly. As you stated, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and they've had to deal with her taunts, her signs constantly being posted in regards to that. Really just anything that you could think of as the most vicious types of harassment are the types of things that we have had to endure.
Well, we have a little bit on who this so-called neighbor from hell is. At first glance, she doesn't really strike you as such a terror. She's 49 years old. Lori Christensen works as an executive assistant in some sort of government job, we're told. She's a single mother with one daughter. She has not returned our calls. Neither has her attorney. They're invited on any time. But listen to this strange tidbit from the Today Show.
Neither she nor her attorney would comment for our story, though in February, she had this to say to a local television station.
I had a psychological evaluation. Okay. They said that if I were to have been a man, that this would not have been happening. But because I'm a single female, I have a very good job. I have the biggest house in the neighborhood.
I mean, I do not understand. What planet is this woman living on? Let me ask that question. Greg Hoffman, what I hear is this all started over some nail polish, and one kid happened to have nail polish go on the other kid, and the parents. What happened? How did this all start?
Well, it did start with the nail polish, but it is not anything that kids don't do. But we had an agreement with Ms. Christensen that if the kids did something that rather than us as parents taking care of it, if it didn't involve our kids, that we would go to the other parent and let them know what had occurred. But again, for Kim and I, it was an incident with that kids do. They get nail polish, they get paint and everything else. But we just thought it was, that we should let her know what went on. And when Kim went to let Lori know that, she went ballistic on her. I was in the backyard, and I could hear the obscenities from the backyard. She was cussing and swearing at her, telling her to get her fat A out of her yard, and, telling her how to be a mother and take care of your own kids and don't worry about mine, and just get your effing, rear end out. And that's when I came to the front yard. And when I came to the front yard, Lori was halfway across the yard screaming at Kim. And then she proceeded to start screaming at me, and I just said, Lori, you've tried to intimidate everybody in this neighborhood, but, I'm not going to let you intimidate us. And Kim and I turned around and walked home with our kids, and that was
ever since then. That's it. That, in other words, it was. In your opinion, it was war after that. Well, look, feuding neighbors are. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sir.
No, at that point it wasn't war. Well, at that point, because at that point it was, we have to be able to trust who our kids are with. And Kim and I sat down and discussed this, and we knew it was going to be difficult, especially for my older daughter, who was good friends with her daughter. But we couldn't trust our daughters being over there by themselves with Miss Christensen being there. Because with that barrage of obscenities that she didn't hesitate to attack my wife with, there were kids around. Our kids were around.
Right. Okay, so I want to get to the heart of this. So essentially, this woman, in her mind, and by the way, her lawyer, we've reached out numerous times, they're invited on any time, she may have felt, just trying to play shrink here for a second, she may have felt rejected and judged, and then she decides she's going to retaliate, and then this feud evolves. I'm not in any way, shape, or form condoning her behavior. To me, it seems outrageous. These signs, it's I know she's still facing some charges. She's violated her probation, but she's in a workhouse. But apparently she faces more charges, and she's going to face aggravated stalking and all sorts of